You know what's amazing to me, ladies and gentlemen, is when the studios and AAA gaming industry seems to have their heads in the sand so much to the point where they make asinine statements like this, statements that are so clearly false, statements that are so clearly just impossible to actually exist in the real world, and yet they make them anyway, right? It's kind of similar to when Ubisoft tried to say that Skull and Bones was going to be a quad A game, right? Like, what kind of world do you live in where Skull and Bones was going to be a quad A game? Well, apparently EA's CEO Andrew Wilson is in the same boat as Ubisoft, because Wilson claims that Dragon Age: The Veilguard has breakout potential in remarks that sound similar to Ubisoft CEO regarding Star Wars Outlaws.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like you have to have your head in the sand in order for you to make a statement like this. There's no way in hell that you believe a game that has a Kunari that looks like this is going to have breakout potential. There's no way in hell, with all the drama going around the game and the controversy, that you think this game is going to have breakout potential. Let's be real here. This game is going to sell, okay? It is going to sell. Doesn't mean it's going to sell well, but it is going to sell. And this game also, in terms of making its money back, there is no way in hell. This game was in development for 10 years. It went through 3 development cycles, and the budget that they're reporting on this game is only the budget for the 3rd iteration of this game. That's not including the iterations of the game 2 prior to this one. So the $150, $200 million budget number, that doesn't include how much money they spent in the other 2 versions of the video game. If you think that they only spent $200 million over 10 years, you're absolutely insane, considering how many times they had to reboot this game and revise it and start from scratch. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Andrew Wilson, the CEO of EA, the parent company of Bioware, claimed that the developer's upcoming Dragon Age: The Veilguard has breakout potential. In the company's Q2 2025 earnings conference call, Wilson shared his optimism that the game will perform well. I need you guys to understand, man, I don't know if anybody's watching this video that's an investor in these studios, but I need you guys to understand something. If you're going to invest in these studios, you really should start studying the culture around gaming and the studios itself. There's no way in fucking hell that you're going to be on this earnings call and this man is telling you that this is going to be a breakout hit, and you truly believe that if you knew the culture around games right now and you knew what you were looking at right before your eyes. There's no way in hell that you believe that, right? There can't be. There's no way. And again, I really want people to at least have an understanding of where gamers are at, and then where their studios are at, and then make their decision from there whether or not they want to invest in these studios. But I think it's asinine to hear this man talk like this on an earnings call and bold-faced fucking lie, right? This man is lying through his teeth. If anybody thinks that Veilguard is going to be anything like Inquisition selling 12 million copies, you're out of your freaking mind. He said, it's an amazing time at EA, and in 2 days we'll be launching Dragon Age: The Veilguard. It's been 10 years since we launched its predecessor game of the year winner, Dragon Age Inquisition. And yeah, it all sounds good, right? It all sounds good on paper. Dragon Age Inquisition, game of the year, obviously, right? We already know that this game is going to be voted game of the year. At least that's what I think anyway. I think this game is going to win game of the year without a doubt. But, game of the year doesn't mean anything, right? It's all just circle jerks. It's the studios circle jerking the journalists who are circle jerking the studio right back. That's all this is. In game of the year from the journalists doesn't mean a fucking thing. Nobody cares, right? It's not like gamers are picking it. It's the journalists picking it. It's the mainstream access picking it. He continued, early critic scores are strong and reflect a high-quality depth and detail in Niche's action-packed adventure. We expect Dragon Age to be a great example of how our blockbuster storytelling engages and connects fans in truly unique ways. Again, circle jerks, right? They're utilizing journalists who they pay off or they get shilled for. They're utilizing them to bolster their earnings call right now and say, well, our early reviews are all high. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Everybody loves us. That means it's going to be a hit. Bro, this is going to be the biggest reality wake-up call I've ever seen. In the Q&A portion of the call, Wilson was asked by Raymond James Financial Group analyst Andrew Maroc, I have seen some very strong reviews so far, but as far as you can tell, what drives that kind of breakout success we've seen in some single-player fantasy games in the last couple of years? And how do you feel that Veilguard might compare along those lines? Wilson responded, I certainly think that Veilguard has breakout potential. Again, 10 years ago, Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year. It was a very strong performer for us in the conduct of our business. This is entertainment. And so while much of our business has moved to live service, moment to moment, deliver innovation and creativity for a deeply engaged community over the course of time, this opportunity to bring in incredibly high quality creative storytelling set in an amazing world with rich characters living out those stories, you're able to capture that moment in entertainment. Success almost certainly follows. Okay. If that's what you think, that's perfectly fine. Listen, again, I've said it so many times, man. This game is going to sell. I don't know if it's going to make its money back, but it's going to sell. I know that because Dragon Age fans right now are in the same place as Star Wars fans was, which is in denial, right? A lot of them are in denial. They're like, you know what? Okay, I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing the trans nonsense. I'm seeing Tosh call themselves non-binary. I'm seeing all this modern day shit being injected into Thetis. I'm seeing it. But I want to buy it anyway because maybe it's good, right? Because I enjoyed Dragon Age before, 1, 2, and 3. I enjoyed Origins. I enjoyed 2. I enjoyed Inquisition. Maybe this will be good, even though I see everything with my eyes and I see how bad and the patterns and everything. Maybe it's going to be good. That is what they're thinking. That's what Dragon Age fans are thinking right now, and they need a wake-up call. They need to log into the game, and they need to see Tosh tell them that they are non-binary and they need to respect their pronouns. The moment they see that, that's going to wake up a lot of normies that are buying this game hoping that everything they're hearing and everything they're seeing is not true. There is a lot of people like that right now. He explained, and we see that in context of movies, and we're seeing it in context of TV seasons, and we see it in context of video games. When we think about what we have with Veilguard right now, we have a storied studio in Bioware. We have a storied IP in Dragon Age. We have a team that took extra time to make sure the world was rich and the characters were interesting and the story was compelling. I think we're going to go into a market that has limited competition for this category of game, given some of the moves that have happened across the border industry. I would say limited competition in the sense that not many people are doing trans scars, my guy. You know what I mean? Not many people are going full-on modern audience like you are. Even Baldur's Gate 3 didn't bother doing that. And when they did, even when they did the woke shit, they still focused on their story and the world that they were building first over all this nonsense. You know what I mean? They don't have their NPCs saying, respect my fucking pronouns. I'm non-binary. You know what I mean? They don't have that. So it's quite sad. It really is, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon Age is that kind of game that it's just a massive fuck you to the original fans of Dragon Age. And so while I think it's too early to predict the outcome, the critical reviews have been incredibly strong. The team feels really energized by what they have delivered. And my sense is that, yes, it has breakout capabilities, he reiterated. So he's basically using the shill reviews from shill journalists to bolster his idea that the game is going to be a breakout success, all because the mainstream is saying that it is, right? And people don't realize that the gamers don't give a fuck about what the mainstream says. We don't care what IGN says. We don't care what Kotaku says. You think we utilize them for their reviews? You're out of your mind. We utilize them for memes. We make fun of them. We joke about them. That's what we utilize them for. The only people that utilize those websites are normies that don't know any better right now. And those are the people that everybody's trying to reach. This particular side's trying to reach it, and we're trying to reach it. You know what I mean? Like, these trans ideology people, they're trying to reach the normies because they want to bring as many people as possible to their cause. And it's the same thing on this particular side. The only difference is one side is being authentic and the other side is not. These people are absolutely insane, and it goes to show that this franchise as a whole has been corrupted, is 100% dead to any original Dragon Age fan, and it's going to wake up a lot of people. And I cannot wait to see some of the video reactions from players who get to those points in the game where you talk about pronouns and all that shit, and just them waking up. I can't wait to see it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate if you could like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.